Mirror, mirror, fogged and loud, what truth today makes the future proud? So I tried to get these beams out of here. It's not really shown up like it would be as crazy as it looks to you guys, but oh well, we roll with it. We spit fire, we speak truth, we lighthouse. And today, one step more of defeating one of the big money bosses, supposedly signed the paperwork to lock in my loan modification, which apparently they're not doing much of anymore these days. It has been a battle. It has been brutal since Hurricane Helene. It was funny during COVID, they just were like, "Don't worry about it. You have a year of, free mortgage payments. Don't worry about it. No problem." And then with Hurricane Helene, which in many ways was worse for our community. Now, hear me out. Obviously, COVID is worse in the grand scheme of life because it impacted the whole world. And there's so many questions and mysteries around it, vaccines, all this stuff. I get the global impact. But when you're talking about your community being torn to shreds, half the service industry and artists leaving, landlords kicking people out left and right, this is why I keep howling. What happened to us after Hurricane Helene wasn't right, and it's still not right. And now all of my favorite places seem to be only filled with rich people. So it's really interesting how that happens after a disaster. And my adorable waitress, so sweet, helping me celebrate today, slaying, hopefully, the mortgage beast today for now. Big hurdle, hopefully crossed today. Just sent them an email to verify it all, tracking number, the cover letter that makes sure I'm not in trouble because the due date on the paperwork's wrong, blah, blah, blah. All the patriarchy's red tape, jumping through hoops, paperwork, drowning in it games. Hopefully, we've crossed that one. But as my waitress said, days after Hurricane Helene, landlords were kicking tenants out. And the hubbub are people say, well, that's illegal. Yeah, it's illegal. But when you're on the receiving end, what are you going to do? You're going to hurry up and call your lawyer that most of us don't have or can't afford? And you're going to fight the big bad landlord who is probably one of the wealthiest people in town or owns multiple properties or doesn't live here, or you might not have ever met them. So not only people losing their jobs because restaurants are closed, tourism's down, they also lost their homes or their places to live because of greedy landlords. So greed has been rampant since Hurricane Helene, kicking people out, trying to steal people's homes, influx of apartments, rich people everywhere like it's a Yellowstone playground. And the real people that I talk to are like, yeah, landlords kicked people out. Landlords kicked my friends out. That's on the residential. Same thing happened on the commercial side. It happened to me. It happened to other people I know. Landlords saw an opportunity to kick out tenants and then upcharge the new tenants because there's a desperation. There's a lack of inventory. Everyone's scrambling. So instead of being a part of the fabric of the community to help us rebuild, greedy, rich landlords who are already, my landlords are already wealthier than God. They see a money grab and they take it. Disaster economics 101. So I'm going to keep howling. I'm going to keep talking about Hurricane Helene. I'm going to keep making the connections to the atrocious city 5x5 plan that's tied to Agenda 2030, Asheville thinks it's so woke. Why don't you take a look at the city plan? Why don't you take a look at the 70-page analysis of the cookie cutter Ernst and Young city plan that they implement after disaster, that they're implementing any chance they get? You're either an Agenda 2030 city or you're not. You either resist the consultant industrial complex and the copy paste bullshit that they're swindling. You're either a rematriated city or you're not. You either support the people or you support profits. You're either human first or you're paving the way for AI and data centers and surveillance and machines to take over our lives. You're either a wall against the dehumanization that is running rampant, or you're a tool used to enforce dehumanization. There's no gray, there's no middle, it's not so bad. You're either a wall against dehumanization or you're a tool to enforce dehumanization. Which side do you want to be on? Which side is your city on? Which side is your country on? So you got kicked out by your landlord after Hurricane Helene or after another disaster, reach out. We're collecting stories, we're collecting consensus, and we're going to change the laws, file lawsuits, make noise, keep sharing the horrors of the disaster industrial complex, the housing industrial complex, the consultant industrial complex, the military industrial complex. But all of you can go right now, see what your city has in store for you for the next 5 years. Is it tied to Agenda 2030? Or was it made independently? Which consultants did your city use? I mean, this is our greatest, it may be our greatest defense against fascism, is holding our own cities accountable. Protecting our city from Agenda 2030, the Great Hollowing, the Great Gutting, landlords kicking people out days after a disaster. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. And Wampus Cats, keep your receipts, document everything. Don't give up without a fight. I've had to fight major car insurance company, a major mortgage company. I'm always fighting battles, fighting the city, fighting the county, fighting police departments, fighting the mayor. And I'm trying to share documentation. This is all part of rematriation, untangling ourselves from their systems as much as possible, being self-sufficient and self-reliant as much as possible, figuring out how to live off-grid, because they weren't here for us after the storm. We had a blackout, communication-wise, internet, cell, cops just moseying about, acting like some kind of bodyguards for property, not for us. Feeling like we're in a true war disaster zone. People that were part of the cleanup crews or, support after 9/11 and after Katrina said that our area was worse than both of those combined. And the stories of greed just keep trickling out. The stories that don't quite add up just keep trickling out. What are they hiding? What are they not telling us? Who is your city aligning with? Are they aligning with you, the people? Or are they aligning with Agenda 2030 and big government? Dig in. Let me know what you find. I will make sure to create a list of the cities known that have been swindled by the consultant industrial complex. Um, I'll make a list known for that, so you can still fight against it. It's 2026. You can tell your city, no freaking way do we sign up for this. That's where we need to fight. That's where you need to be putting your efforts. Sure, the big protests get televised and make some news, but I'm wondering how much change they make. Harsh but true. I've marched at the Women's March. I've been arrested in DC. I've been there. I've been there. But we need to take back our cities, protect our cities. Hold our officials accountable. Keep howling for the people that got kicked out days after a hurricane, when they probably didn't even know if everyone they knew was alive yet. They're already dealing with landlords. You don't know if everyone you know is still alive, and you're dealing with landlords and credit cards and mortgage companies before you know about human lives. We can still turn it around. We don't have to accept this extraction model. We don't have to accept the future that they've written for us and for our cities. Resist, Wampus Cats. Resist. And remember, the future can always wish until morning. We need you whole. We need you healthy. We need your nervous system and your body taken care of. We need you to celebrate the wins. I turned that paperwork in and I'm like, what do I need to do next? And I made myself stop and say, no, this is huge. This has been a 15-month battle. And this is supposedly the last piece of the puzzle. These signed documents. So that's worth celebrating. And then come home and howl against the machine some more with you guys. All right. Much love. Document everything. Receipts, receipts, receipts.